Hi, my name is Lena. Welcome to my channel, and this is my first video about this first part of the study in Scarlet by Arthur Conan Doyle. The story that introduces Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson to us, and it's first time for me reading Sherlock Holmes stories in original in English, and I will mostly talk about my thoughts about my first impression, and I would compare it to a Russian movie adaptation I have known since my childhood. So I was really surprised that Sherlock Holmes was to see him anxious about anything, because in this old Russian adaptation he was very sure of himself. He was very reserved, very self-possessed, and I believe he was stunned only once in the entire series. So you couldn't actually see through him. He was very sure of himself. And in this old Russian adaptation, they took some liberties introducing Holmes and Watson to us. So at first, Watson doesn't know what Sherlock Holmes does. So Sherlock Holmes doesn't tell him that he is a consulting detective. And Watson finds Sherlock Holmes a suspicious character, and he conducts a small amateur investigation into Sherlock Holmes. And he comes to a conclusion that Sherlock Holmes is a criminal mastermind. So this was funny, but it couldn't have been more different from the book. Then, I was surprised that Sherlock Holmes wrote several articles for newspapers. I think I agree with Steve Donoghue that this famous fact that Sherlock Holmes didn't know and didn't care about the fact that Earth was revolving around the sun. I think that Holmes was actually pulling Watson's leg, that it was a joke, because Holmes has quite a lot of junk in his head that contradicts his own theory. He knows a lot about fictional detectives and their methods of work and the detective series, and about the authors of the series, and about musicians and about music. And he can perform quite a lot of music, and I guess without the note sheets, without the score. Um, so he plays from his memory. Another thing, I think I found the idea of Rex Stout's Nero Wolfe and Archie Goodwin when just before Watson convinces Holmes to go and actually see the scene of a crime, when Holmes tells Watson that he prefers to conduct investigations from his house without leaving his house, and he prefers Lestrade and Gregson to do all the legwork for him. And that's exactly what Nero Wolfe does. He conducts investigations from his home, and Archie Goodwin does all the legwork. And actually, if you think about it, so does Poirot. He prefers to conduct investigation from his armchair. Of course, he himself this legwork, but afterwards he prefers to sit down and think about it. Well, I think that's all. Thank you for watching. Goodbye and happy reading.